Hey everybody, it's Crazy with Crazy Gaming, back for another episode of Hydroneer 2.0. So off camera I did some work yesterday after we ended, and I purchased a number of items that's going to prepare us to move above ground. I should probably pay for that. We're going to move above ground. So when we get back to our mine, you will see that I've installed a bunch of plumbing that will help us get up out of the ground and to refine or process the materials so that we can become fully automated. But to do that we need all these conveyors to get us up out of the ground. So I dug at an angle up to the surface, made a hole, put in the plumbing that we need, which is basically a bunch of elbows, and you'll see the build when we get back right now. And we're heading on back now. So we want to get the automation done today, and we'd like to possibly work on the logic for the auto repair. And hopefully we'll be able to accomplish that today. Plus, once we get the stuff up top, we need to purchase some more items. We're going to set up the automation so that things run up from the mine to the tables that we purchased, the conveyors you can see right there. And what those do will afford us to shove each individual ore or gem off the conveyors into a chute, which will drop them down into the waiting smelters, so that we can be auto smelting everything. But that's the setup. And as the pipes, you can see you use a bunch of curved pipes there to work your way up to the surface, because the belts have to have piping to operate. So what we're going to do is set this first one, which goes at the very bottom. We can get it down in there. There we go. I don't think that's actually all the way down. Maybe it is. I wasn't paying attention this morning. I up a little early and doing some things, and I may have had one of these yesterday that I used. So anyways, we're getting completing it and bringing it up to the top here. This is how you set them up. And what that will do is bring the ore up out of the mine to the surface, or we could then process them into eventually becoming bars, ingots. Alright. Now, normally we could go straight ahead, but because we're in limited space here, and we're going to need 5 slots for each individual item coming up out of the ground. We're going to need to make a left-hand turn on the belts. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And so I had a weird thing happen with the truck when I was off camera early this morning, running around. And what happened is I overloaded the truck, and the truck kind of just started spinning, and it shot up in the air, and very strange. And actually all the inventory I had in the truck disappeared. I lost all that. So word to the wise, do not overload the truck. Yeah, I had overloaded it so heavy that the tires were kind of squishy and half of them kind of disappeared into the ground, and it looked like it was, the rear end was pretty much buried right on the axle. So yeah, we're gonna get this left-hand conveyor, because once we hit the surface we are gonna make a left-hand turn, and then we'll lay out all our conveyors so that each individual item will be pushed off and separated. This game is really pretty cool, I have to admit. And it has its challenges, for sure. But I think once you get the basic understanding or grasp of the game, it's not too bad to figure things out. Takes me a little longer because I'm a little older. I'm actually retired, and I'm a retired gold miner, believe it or not. Heavy equipment operator for over 40 years. Of course, none of the mines I worked in ever used conveyor belts for anything. Alright, let's unload these guys. This will be our last vertical conveyor. We still have plenty of gold. Put this over here, so if we need to buy pipe or anything, which we're gonna, we'll be able to do that. Let's move things back to daylight. Yeah, it doesn't. I pushed the pause button, but it doesn't seem to pause. Time still seems to keep advancing anyway. So I don't know. I am not playing in creative mode. I'm playing in normal mode, but I did go into creative mode in the beginning so that I could get the hourglass so that I could use it to keep it daytime all the time. But it hasn't seemed to work. And maybe it's because I'm not in creative mode. Maybe they fixed it so it only works in creative mode. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Come on, baby. I wish they'd work on this. This placement thing is just kind of whack. Alright, let's pick this guy up. Put him on here. Now we need some foundations because all the rest of the equipment is going to sit on foundations so it could be at the right height. put this 90 on first so that we can set the next conveyor, which is going to be that left-hand conveyor. The left-hand conveyor will sit on a block there. Let's set these pipes so we don't accidentally move that stuff. Actually going to need about 5 of these blocks. Well, actually more than that, but we'll need 5 for the 5 positions with the separators. Ugh. But we'll also need blocks to go onto the ground at ground level so we can set the the smelters on. Come on. There we go. Need to grab our next block. And this is a pretty efficient way of doing this. We'll put our separator on there. Perfect. Now what you do is you set the, just like the separator over here, the hand separator. Then the matic ones over here, all you do is set the ore on top that you want to be separated from what's coming up on the belt, and it pulls, shoots it off, separates it, and it works real nice. If we can ever get up here. Jesus. So this first chute's going to do gold. Let's put the next one in. Whoops. That's not right. There we go. We get us a piece of iron ore. Stick that iron ore up on top. Alright. This will sit right down in front. When we get the foundations dropped, we'll set these up against there. And then we need to go back. We need to go back up to Bridgeport and buy us some chutes. The chutes will keep the ore from missing the crate or missing the smelter. Use the rake to get the dirt off the top. Come on. There we go. Now we need another block for the next one. What's great about that is this thing will just keep feeding ore all day long. That ends up in the smelter, so when we come to deal with it for the very first time, all we're doing is tipping the crucibles to pour the ingots. Everything else is all done automatically from the drill all the way up until it goes into the crucible of the smelter. That's real nice, mister. There we go. And I think they have a logic program for dealing with the smelters too, but I think you have to use the logic smelters. You can automate even that, where it automatically pours the ingots, so all you do is walk up and take the ingots out. So we'll make sure we lock all this down. Alright, looking good. We're getting there. Now, we don't currently have any cloudium, but we'll set the separator down for it anyway. And as soon as one piece shows up, we will definitely stick it up on top so that it can be separated as well into its smelter. This one we're going to do the crystal shard with. We will do the smelter for the cloudium next, and then the gems will be last. We have to build a plumbing setup for the compressor, because we're going to have the gems that get separated out drop onto a belt, which will belt it over to the compressor, so they will automatically be dumped in the compressor. So all we have to do is just walk up and pull the lever. Geez, I can't get this thing centered on here. I don't think it really matters, but it'd be nice if I could get it so it was centered up. Eh. Come on. I just forget it. Alright, let's lock this one down. So it's coming along quite nicely, I think. Let's get ready to set this one up. We're gonna steal that smelter, because we're really not gonna have a use for it. And if we need to smelt something, we have the manual smelter that we could use. Just dumping it in this here will suffice. In here. Find a place to put this bucket. Jeez.
Huh?
Excuse me. Run, run, run. I forgot to pay. I do that a lot. Old people. We're going to plumb this out so that we can run plumbing out to the compressor and the belt that's going to move those to the compressor. But we need another separator, so we'll run and get that. Probably help if we took our gold with us, because we can't purchase anything without the gold. Oops. Oh, nice. Put us right in the town here. That's great. Bridgeport. Let's park. Take our gold. You get us another separator for the gems. And we need regular conveyor. That separator is going to spit them into the chute, which will drop them out on a regular conveyor. I think we need 2 conveyors, but we'll see after we get back and set it up. And I believe this one is going to need a right-hand turn, which we have at the base already. Some of the ones we bought for down in the mine that were wrong. We need another one of these to replace the one we took. And we're back. Check our water. Another one. That ought to be good. Oh, slow, whoa. There we go. Yep, we need plumbing to place that.
Huh?
We need to unlock this stuff. Take the cork out. We need a 90. Bring it down. We need another 90. And bring it towards us in our direction. There we go. Now we need a straight pipe. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're probably going to need 2 flat conveyors for this. Now, normally I would put a right-hand conveyor right there instead of putting a separator, because it's the last thing on the item, so you really don't need a separator for the gems. But that being said, I was trying to think about the fact that if something slipped past all this stuff, I'm going to put a block with a basket on it so that anything that might have glitched or came by would have a place to go instead of being forced into the gem slot. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this. But what we have to do next is we need to put each individual gem up there on that box. Otherwise it won't work correctly. Come on. There we go. Sometimes I have to adjust to get them to sit. Anyway. We got repairs to do. We'll steal this pipe. So the thing about this is that we're going to have to do some creative plumbing, because if I set this in there where the water intake is, the neck on for the top piece will be facing the conveyor, which means anything coming up the middle of the belt is going to bump into it. So we need to turn it so that it's clear for the items coming up the belt to fall into the compressor without being obstructed. So we're going to need to come up with a creative way to do that, and I think we're going to need another 90. A couple of 90s actually, so that we can turn that in the direction it needs to go. There's that. That will turn the items to the right. Hence the reason we need a 90 instead of a straight pipe there. And then that way we can turn this thing so that we can guide the... It's not going to work. It's going to send it the wrong way. We don't want it to go by the handle. So we're going to need to pick up another left hand. Belt. Put this in the cart with the other one. So I'm going to get this process worked out and then we'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, we have got it worked out. Hopefully everything's going to function correctly. So the trick is to get the plumbing to work in the fashion that was necessary for all of that to work for the transition. So let's steal this. I'm going to put this down here at the end. Put the basket on it so that anything that may escape somehow, not saying it will, but if it does, it will have a place to go and we'll catch it. Now we have all the gemstones to put up on that, the top and the guide, except for onyx. We don't have any onyx yet, which is strange, but because we've done quite a bit of mining so far, we have not come across one. But sooner or later one will fall, and when it does, it'll ride that belt and shoot off the end of the belts and into that basket, and then we'll be able to place it as well. Machines look good, none of them are broken, so the filters are doing their job. Fire this thing up, see if it works. Why am I hearing water dripping? Oh, forgot about that. Let's grab a cork. Take that piece off. We'll stick this in the T. Probably could just stick a piece of straight pipe in there, and because it's not like we'll be utilizing that for anything again, but just for now, in case there's any issues, we want to be able to access that again, so we'll just leave it for now. Alright, let's fire up this thing and see if it's gonna work. I hear the drills going. So hop up here and see if we can watch the ore. So this machine just became pointless, unnecessary. So we can break down this whole plumbing line here, including the T-pipe. We'll pull that off, take the T off. To 90 down, use a regular straight pipe to replace the T, put the filter back on, lock it all down. There we go. Alright, there comes some more now. Grab our chutes.
Huh?
And once we install these chutes, then our setup should be complete. Oh geez, what's happening here? That's not good. Now the truck is not overloaded, so I don't have any idea why it's doing that. And it didn't start happening until I went to remove the money, the coins from the truck, so we're going to have to figure this out. So this is what I don't understand, and I went last time this happened, I went to the Discord to figure it out, and they told me that it was because my truck was overloaded. But yet, the truck is hardly overloaded. So what we got to do is try to figure out how to get this thing stationary for a minute so that we can hop out and grab our stuff off of it. And then we'll have to log and then relog. And the truck will disappear, and then we'll have to now if I push recall, oh, there it is. So it's bringing it back to where it was, where it started at, I think. Now we need to get back over near it so that we can try to hop back in it and get it to stop floating away. Because you can't really control it, but you can in the sense that you can drive it in a direction. So it's kind of weird. I don't know what this glitch is about or what's causing it. So I don't have any mods. So I've got to get myself in position so I can, when I recall it, I can hit the Q and hop back in the truck. There we go. And then it does the spinny thing. Now the last time this happened, I ended up going all the way up in the sky, about 10,000 feet or 100 feet, 100,000 feet up. I can see the whole map and all the blue edges. And I couldn't get it to come back down, so I ended up having to queue out of the truck, which respawned me in Snow Ruin or somewhere, a gazillion miles from anything, and everything in the truck that I had in the inventory was gone. I could not recall the truck, and then as I was walking back, I came through Bridgeport, and the truck was sitting on the ground in Bridgeport. But none of the stuff that was in the bed was there. It was all gone. But I did have to relog though before I could do that. So just try to get the inventory out first before I do the relog, so I don't lose any of this stuff.
Huh?
I'll just set this stuff up here where we can get it later. So the truck is staying put, it's not moving, which is nice. And maybe it will respawn again down there down here in Bridgeport. But yeah, so I have no idea what causes this. So I'll go ahead and pause out, and then when we get this all done and get everything back together, I'll come back. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, here's the truck. I logged and relogged, and this is where the truck ended up. Now it's not acting all crazy again. So yeah, it's just an inconvenience. I never really experienced it until after the last update, so I don't know if it's a coding issue or what's going on. It looks like it's alright, and it's not going to be acting all crazy or do any wacky stuff anymore. So let's go up and check and make sure our stuff is still up here. Yep, there it is. So yeah, that was kind of weird. Flying truck. But I could have edited it out of the video, but I wanted people to see, so that if something like that happened to them, they'd know how to kind of know how to deal with it. And hopefully we won't have that issue again. But as you can see, everything was fine until I went to pull the money back off the truck, and then that's when the truck went crazy. Pressure reader. And I think we'll pick this up and put it on our pipe. That way we can get an idea where our pressure's at. Let's grab our coin. Alright. Let's go ahead and head back. So that's quite a long run on that pipe. So I think our next effort would be to go up to Snow Ruin and or whatever they call the snow castle here, and go to the Great Forge and make a booster. Now I think they're like 60 iron to do that, which isn't too bad. It'd be nice. They go on that first pipe that comes out of the water, and you can put up to 4 of them on there, and it boosts the water pressure by quite a bit, well over 100%. Put our chutes on. And once we get the chutes on, this thing should be ready to rock and roll. We should start making money. Might want to consider putting a couple more drills down in our mine as well. Couldn't hurt. Speed things up a little bit. There we go. Got our chutes all installed. But yeah, we got room down there. We can probably throw a couple more miners in there. Hopefully all this is going to work. I'm hearing ore dropping into the smelters, so that's a good thing. Let's see if our compressor works. It should be functioning okay. I see a ruby falling in there. That's the wrong place. That's because it doesn't have an assigned place to go, and I think that's why it did that. We actually need to put that up on our... Oh, the belts aren't moving here. And you know what? I think it's a pressure thing. It's just not enough pressure to get that far down this run. Yeah, none of these last couple belts are moving. Or the last belt isn't anyway. Ah, there's the Cloudium. Drop that there. There we go. So that's covered. So let's see how much this weighs. So there's enough here to make a booster. We really want to get 4 of them if we can, or at least 2. We need a minimum of 120 to make 2 of them. So what do we got here? So we got enough to make 2. So we can put this in our bed. And let's run up to the big forge and make us a couple of boosters. Those will boost the pressure enough, I'm pretty sure, that will allow that last stretch of belts to work. Let's see if we can make a shortcut up here instead of driving all the way around. Whoa, I see. Where will it redo us at? We can still get up there from here. I wonder why it didn't spawn us up top. We were already up top. It's kind of weird. And then we can just stick these up here. And that'll take them back. Whoa! Hello. That's supposed to happen? That sucks. I wonder why we went through the grate like that. Guess it is a quick way to get down there, if that's what you want to do. We need to still make another one. Now when you throw your ore in, oh yeah, that was weird. When you throw your ore in, the excess gets dropped right back there, so you can grab it and bring it back up. Drop it in the pot, hit the button. Boom. Alright. Let's walk around this thing so we don't fall. Can we make a third one? I don't think so, but we'll give it a shot. Nope. Nope, can't. So that's going to be it, but 2 should boost us up enough to get those belts working, I'm hoping. So I guess we'll work the logic automatic repair tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode, I don't think we're going to get to it today. But if we can get this functioning properly, then that'll be great. Now these should pop up right there. They are. That's real nice. Now the only reason I know about these boosters is because a friend of mine was telling me about them. Now I had been up to the forge before and I bought the models for to make some more drills, to add drills to the mine. But he told me about the booster, and so I bought the model for that. Guess you would call it the blueprint, whatever. And yeah, so that we're going to check these out right now and see how they work. And hopefully we'll see a boost enough to give those last few belts a chance to operate, which will make our apparatus fully 100% operational, with the exception of the auto repair logic that we want to do. And once this mine starts producing well enough, then we'll go look at buying our next mining spot. Because we're pretty limited to what we can get here, as this is only level 1. And it's very shallow as far as depth goes compared to all the other mines. Alright. I don't understand why I can't get this to hook up. Well, I never expected it to be this hard. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let's lock those pieces down. It says 110. And now they're functioning. Oh, we got a belt going the wrong way there. Let's get our hammer. Oops. Lock that thing down. Fix this real quick. Ah, shoot. So we'll get this mess cleaned up. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We got the mess cleaned up. Everything seems to be functioning. Now if we can just come across an onyx, that would complete our little setup. But the water pressure's up. Everything seems to be working okay. So, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help me out. I really appreciate it. This takes a minute and it's free. Also, if you hit the bell, you'll get notification when we drop our next video. I think we're going to call it an episode for today. We accomplished quite a bit. We got our thing finally up and running, and we got to experience a flying truck. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode. And until then, this is Crazy with Crazy Gaming. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.